Picking up where we left off from, we had our equal sign. If, double click, our logic is if F4 is less than or equal to, comma, then our output, if it is less than or equal to 40, if that is true, our output will be F4, comma, if it is false, then our output will be 40. Close our parentheses and hit the enter key. Now we must copy our formula. In order to copy our formula, we will click on G4, then go to the bottom right corner of that cell, get a black solid cross, click and drag. We have now copied our formula. Number 10 says in H4, we are going to enter an if statement that will calculate the amount of overtime hours worked and copy the formula in the remaining cells in the column. Again, we start with equals, if, double click, and our logic is hours worked, which is in F4, is greater than the number 40. If that is true, comma, then we are going to have hours worked, which is F4 minus the number 40. And if it is false, comma, then we will have 0. We are going to then close our parentheses and hit the enter key. And then the next thing we're going to do is copy our formula. We have now calculated overtime hours. Okay? So all we did was compared these two columns to see which ones had overtime hours. So that's why you should have 0s and 5 in column H. Number 11 states in I4, we're going to go to I4, calculate the regular pay. Regular pay is equal to hourly rate times regular hours. And then we're going to format the data as currency. So first we're going to put the formula in. We're going to do equals. And we've got to see where hourly rate is. Hourly rate is in D4 times regular hours, which is in G4. And then we are going to hit enter. We are going to then copy our formula. And then we are also going to make sure that we change our number formatting to currency. Next, it says in J3, calculate the heading as overtime pay. And it should be in initial caps and bold font. So overtime pay. And we have it in initial caps and it is bolded. And once again, because we do have the wrap text on, we want to make sure that our text is wrapping. Now, we must put in our formula to calculate overtime pay. So number 13 says in J4, enter a formula to calculate the overtime pay. Overtime pay is equal to overtime rate times overtime hours. And then we're going to copy that formula. So again, we start with equals. And overtime rate is in E4. So E4 times overtime hours, which is in H4, and hit enter. Then we must copy our formula and make sure that we put it in currency. Next, it says in K3, we are going to have the label gross pay. That too should be initial caps as well as wrapped text. And the next thing we're going to do is calculate it by adding regular pay and overtime pay. So in K4, we're going to start with equals, and we're going to add regular pay. So that's in I4, and we're going to add that plus overtime pay, which is in J4. Hit our enter key and then copy our formula. Anytime that you see hashtags means that that column is too small for the number that is in that cell. You will then need to go in between the K and the L and double click, and that will enlarge that column width. Next, we are going to go to, next thing that we are going to do is we have now calculated. Now, number 16 says check the spreadsheet to make sure all cells are formatted consistently. For example, the data in columns I, J, and K should have grid lines. We need to make sure that we have grid lines. So in order to put our grid lines in J and K, we are going to select those two columns, starting from J3, ending in K29. We're going to go to the borders icon, and then we are going to select all borders. Now we have our grid lines. Then it says, number 17, sort the spreadsheet in descending order by overtime pay. In order to sort, we are going to, we've got to make sure that we also have grid lines here. So again, make sure you select and then click the all borders icon. Now, to make sure that we are able to sort in descending order overtime pay, we are going to select our data. So we are going to select A3 to K29. We're going to go sort and filter. We are going to then custom sort. And what you will see is it has columns here to ask us how to sort. So the first thing that we are going to sort is by overtime pay. So we are going to select the drop-down box, go down to overtime pay in descending order. So then we are going to go from the largest to the smallest, because we are going to be going down for descending from high to low, and click OK. And then we should be able to look in our overtime pay column, which is in column J, and for number 18, we are going to indicate who are the top 3 overtime pay earners. So you're looking at the top 3 overtime pay. Now, I need for you to continue your worksheet. And once you've continued your worksheet, answer all questions, save as, if statement, payroll.